9th, 2016.
And we were going the lean startup route. Let's go test it. We're bootstrapping, no outside money. So that means we had to make do with whatever resources we had. We set up a website, got a little bit of inventory. The only marketing we did was to set up a Facebook page, and you make do with what you had. I'd take out my cell phone, and we made videos. And who was in those videos?
I am. I'm talking about sock. Sock, more sock.
Right? And we go to test the idea, and we're very fortunate. We got, even the first day, a flood of orders, and most of them were local. Made sense, right? And what did we do with those orders?
Our home deliveries.
We put the socks in red boxes. What else did we put in?
I think you know our and candy.
We'd load up the car and drive around at night, and you would knock on doors and hand deliver the socks, right?
I did. Customers love that sock and posted on social media. A would I get a spread.
Right. We had customers ordering again just to get John to come back to their house. Right? So we learned a few things by testing this. One, people want to buy socks. Two,
people want to buy a sock from me.
Right. And three, we learned that this young man and this old man, we could sell socks, right? So we've gone on to create this business. What's it called?
Sean's Crazy Sock.
And we have a slightly different type of business model. It's a social enterprise. If all we were doing was selling socks, we wouldn't be here. You wouldn't be listening to us. Because we've counted. There are exactly 1 gazillion sock companies. And what do you say? Ours are better than theirs, ours smell better, they look better. And then at the same time, if it was just a nice father-son thing and we raised some money for people, we wouldn't be here either. But when you put them together, it's powerful. Right? And we've built the business on 5 pillars. Inspiration and hope.
Give it back. Fun product you can love. Make it personal.
And making it a great place to work. If what's our mission?
Spreading happiness.
We want to spread happiness. Our employees have to be happy and engaged. We've got to have fun products. We've got to have products you can love. How many different socks do we have now?
We have over than 3,000 different kinds of socks.
That means John here owns the world's largest sock store. Right? And you've got to run a great business. So we do same-day shipping. And when it comes in, it's going out the same day. We do better shipping than Amazon. Right? Making it personal, to this day, what goes in every package?
Every package they can know from me some candy.
Right? Jeff Bezos is not putting a thank you note in candy in those Amazon packages.
I do.
Right? And then giving back is baked into everything we do. So we started by donating 5% of our earnings to
a Special Olympics.
And why the Special Olympics?
I am better Olympic athlete.
Right? But we've gone on to create products that raise awareness and celebrate causes and raise money for those causes. So what were our first awareness socks?
I downed from awareness socks.
And who designed those?
I did.
Right. And they raised money for the National Down Syndrome Society, but also a group right here in Nassau County, ACDS, where John went to preschool. And we've gone on to make many others.
I like the all system, and we have cerebral palsy.
The healthcare superhero socks. Yep. Pet rescue socks that raise money for the North Shore Animal League. Okay? But the most important thing is inspiration and hope. We want to show the world what people with differing abilities can do. It starts with John.
Yep.
You're the face of the company?
Yes, I am.
What's your title?
My title is Chief Happiness Officer.
Right. We've been able to create 31 jobs. 21 of those are held by people with differing abilities. But it's not enough to just show to hire people. We want to show the world. We host school tours. We do speaking engagements like this. Thankfully, the world's opening up. In the last 10 days, we've been in Wisconsin. On Monday,
Yep.
we spoke at the
Austin, Texas.
for the Society of Human Resource Management Conference. Yeah, on Tuesday, we're in Washington, D.C.
Yep.
It's good to be out, right?
It's wonderful.
And we do advocacy work. You know, I know we've met with Senator Gorin. We were in Tuesday, we're in D.C. with Andrew Garbarino and Tom Swazi for National Disability Employment Month. We want to keep showing what people with differing abilities can do. And so what we've created at our place is the unified workplace, where people with differing abilities work side by side neurotypicals. And you might think the benefits accrue to the people with differing abilities, but everybody benefits. Morale is up, productivity is up, retention is up, and it helps us recruit people. If you're a business, raise your hand if you've had trouble hiring people. Let me tell you, part of the solution is to hire people with differing abilities. And when you do that, it gives you a competitive advantage over other businesses. We've recently had a surge in sales. We needed to add 5 people. We did that in 3 days. We have a surplus of candidates because we tap into this great national resource that's underutilized and undervalued, people with differing abilities. And what do you say about people with differing abilities working?
Are you ready, willing, and able to work?
They're out there. So now that brings us to the pandemic. The pandemic was awful, right? It cost us hundreds of thousands of dollars in revenue last spring. And even more was the virus. No matter how careful we were, last December, my wife, John, and I all got the virus. And what'd we give you for Christmas?
I had a hospice stay.
John had a hospital stay, spent 8 days in Huntington Hospital. And it was scary. The first 3 days were really scary. They did wonderful things there. They let me, even though I was sick, stay with him the whole time. And 8 days later, you walked out of that hospital. You didn't walk out. You danced out of the hospital, right?
I did.
But what do you do as a business? What have you done? And how do you respond? And you've taken that old movie line, and what do you say?
I say, no crying in business.
No crying in business, right? So the first thing is we had to take care of people's health. And particularly because many of our colleagues are vulnerable. Here's something to know. People with Down syndrome, they're not more likely to get the virus. But if they do, 5 times more likely to be hospitalized, 10 times more likely to die. So we had to make sure we had all the safety protocols in place. And then you adapt. We gave school tours, right? Well, we had to stop that. We moved them online. What did that mean? We've now had classes from around the world take tours of our operation. Those speaking engagements, we love doing them, and we traveled across Canada, the U.S., Mexico. John here, we're members of the U.S. State Department Speakers Bureau, right? But we're not doing in person for 1.5 years. You move those online. What does that do? We've spoken now at conferences in India, in Portugal, in Spain, in Guyana, in France, in England, and all across the U.S. And it's enabled us to speak to smaller groups. It opens possibilities. We're in the midst of the pandemic. We make socks. What can we do? So what special socks did we make to say thank you?
I healthcare superhero socks.
We made healthcare superhero socks to say thank you to frontline workers. They have now raised over $50,000 for the American Nurses Association and Good Samaritan Hospital. Right? You adapt and keep finding a way. And then you look for new opportunities. So here was an easy one. Mask. But we made masks true to who we are. and they raise money for different causes. What's our mission?
Spreading happiness.
How do you spread happiness? What do you do every Tuesday afternoon then?
Every Tuesday, I hold a dance party at 3 p.m. and I will go on Zoom.
So if you're having a bad day, sign into that Zoom. Come and dance with John for half an hour, right? And we heard from many nonprofits that they were having trouble raising money because all the public events were wiped out. So we created a charity fundraising program that's touchless and remote. And now hundreds of PTAs and small organizations across the country have engaged in that program to raise money. Right? And I want you to see that origin, that DNA, that social enterprise, that put us in a position to respond to the pandemic. When you know your mission, you know your values, you're ready to adapt to no matter what comes at you. If all we were doing was selling socks, I think the technical word is we would have been screwed. Right? But we had another purpose driving us. So I want to leave you with that idea. Ask yourself, what's the purpose? What are you doing? It's got to be more than just make money. We all want to make money, right? We like to live indoors,
Yeah, we do.
right? What's the purpose? What are you offering yourself and your colleagues and your customers and your community? What's the impact you're having? I want to urge you, look at the opportunity to hire people with differing abilities. Don't focus on what people can't do. Focus on what they can do. Don't be blinded by somebody's limitations. Be awed by the possibilities. And here's what we know. Hiring people with differing abilities is not altruism. It's good business. And those who adopt first will have a competitive advantage over others. At the end of the day, we're just a couple of knuckleheads from Long Island selling socks. But all we want to do is
Show the
change the world.
change the world.
Right? And do you have any final words for folks here?
I do. Follow your heart. Follow your dreams. Work hard. Show you can do.
So thank you to all the businesses out there. You're making a difference. You're my boy.
And you're my father.
Very inspirational, huh? Long Islanders always ready for a dance party, right? Here we go. Next up, Susan Martin, our secretary. Susan, come on up.
Hello, everybody. It's so good to see you all here. We're so glad to be back as well. So early on, Frank touched on our sponsors, but it's my honor to truly thank them and appreciate what they do for us. Because without their help and their support, we would not be able to continue the advocacy we do for Nassau businesses. So without further ado, I'd like to thank in order. First of all, our gold sponsors, which are AT&T and Nassau County ID